Cricket presents The Warmup, and thank you for tuning in. I'm your host, Ted Madden. We have only a few weeks left before the postseason. Let's get you warmed up. The weather was troublesome earlier in the week, causing many teams to move their Tuesday games to a different date. But things are looking up for tomorrow night, and we've got some great games on the docket. Let's preview some of them in the lineup, presented by So Chill Chips and Salsa. 8-6A looks to be Arlington Martin's district to lose, but there is one team that can really throw a wrench in the works. Sam Houston is one game behind the Warriors and in second place. This Friday is meeting number 2 between these two teams, and it's on the Texans' home floor. In the first matchup, Martin survived with a 77-73 win, and if they can win this second game as well, the district championship will almost certainly be theirs. University of Houston commit Cordelius Jefferson leads the way for Martin, and Jaden Juarez has been deadly from behind the arc. However, the Texans have one of the best teams they've had in years. Terrence Warren has come up big for Sam Houston all year and scored 35 in the first meeting. There is always a big matchup in 8-5A, and this week is no exception. Colleyville Heritage visits Birdville in a game that feels like a must-win, which is pretty much every game in this district. There are 6 teams fighting for 4 playoff spots, and there isn't much margin for error. Birdville has been playing some great basketball since the return of Garrick Norman from a broken hand. The Michigan State recruit has ignited the Hawks' offense, and now Birdville is currently in a playoff spot. Many thought Colleyville Heritage was the best team in the district going into the year, but the Panthers have been inconsistent and were tied for 4th at the beginning of the week. Heritage banks on the play of Samson Johnson and the outside shooting of players like Carson Jack. The Hawks won the first meeting by 4 points, and we are expecting another close one on Friday night.
Give yourself a well-deserved treat this winter and get a free Cricket Dream 5G with 5G included when you switch to Cricket.
Enjoy the authentic flavors of ancient recipes. So thin, so crisp, so good, so chill.
Denton High has done a complete facelift on their basketball program. Last year, they won only 3 games. This year, they're in second place in District 8-5A. A big reason for that is the coach's kid, MJ Thomas. We caught up with him on the recruiting trail.
My name is MJ Thomas, and I go to Denton High School, and I'm the position small forward, power forward, point guard, everything. You know, loyalty, trustworthy, and hometown feeling. I take pride in my defense, communicating, rebounding. Rebounding is my strength, like, for sure. I love rebounding, man. Making my teammates better, so passing the ball. And Denton is always a great feeling to come back to your hometown and play for your hometown team. You know, the first team in Denton. So it was just, as a little kid, you know, watching your older brother go here, watching your aunt graduate from here, you know, it's just a lot of traditions from this school. So to be a part of it, it's crazy, man. It's a crazy feeling. So I'm like, man, I got to live up to the expectations. So it's a fun experience to come here, home games, and play for this crowd. I want everybody to remember me by that boy MJ changed Denton around. He changed Denton around, him and his dad, and me and my younger brother as well. I want everybody to know me as he changed Denton program around. So that's what I want to hear when I leave this campus.
This winter, it's time to unlimit yourself and your family. Switch to Cricket and get 4 lines for $25 each per month, plus nationwide 5G and unlimited data.
We can't get to all the big matchups this week, but we preview a couple more in the hype. Lake Highlands has been taking care of business in district play. Sometimes it's been easy, sometimes they've been tested. Friday night should be another tough test as the Wildcats visit Richardson. Now, Lake Highlands won their first encounter by double digits, but that was at Lake Highlands. Richardson is trying to solidify a playoff spot and should have a nice crowd that will be giving the Wildcats the business throughout this one. The Eagles will need good inside play from Timmy Jordan if they're going to pull off the upset. However, Lake Highlands can counter Jordan's dominance in the paint with Samson Alaton, who has a height advantage. The X factor in this one, as it usually is when the Wildcats take the court, is junior Trey Johnson. The number one player in the nation in the class of 2024 has lived up to it all season long. Johnson is the main reason why Lake Highlands is a state title favorite in Class 6A. Not much has been said about the Allen Eagles, but they have slowly moved up to number 4 in the state rankings. Friday night, they take on Prosper in a 5-6A battle. The Eagles don't have a blemish on their district record, as they are doing what many thought they would do, dominate. Allen is a very experienced team with Femi Olaniyan and Dylan Archie leading the way. Many feel the overall talent on this Allen team can compete with Lake Highlands for the Region 1 championship. Prosper is currently tied for second in district play and needs to pull off a couple wins to secure that second place spot. In their earlier matchup with Allen, James Cloud scored 22 in a 16-point loss. That one was at home, so Prosper will really have to dig deep to pull off the upset on the road. Last week, Plano Prestonwood won our defensive title belt. Let's talk about how they did it in the Buzz. The Lions defense swarmed all over John Paul II on Friday night and held the Cardinals to 55 points in a 27-point victory. Defense led to offense as the Lions found easy baskets on the other end after some huge defensive stops. They left no doubt as to why Prestonwood is a top-ranked private school team in the state. This week, the Denton Braswell girls could be in line for a title belt. The Lady Bengals take on one of 6A's best teams, Little Elm, in what could be for the district title. Expect a strong defensive effort out of them. That's going to do it for today's show. For even more high school basketball content, be sure to follow us on our social media accounts, including Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube. I'm Ted Madden, and I hope you get out to some great hoops action.